real open heart surgery and everything. That's different. Okay. The circulatory system, okay, and the need. What is the need? Because of this nutrition and the oxygen, and then the waste products which is produced here inside. So all of them should go through different tissues, right? So it's circulating, and then it is eliminating from outside, waste removal. Waste removal. Okay. And then you got, we call it as excretion. Okay. And also you have a gas exchange. Oxygen is going in, carbon dioxide is coming out. Okay. So if you see the circulatory system, it plays a major role, circulation. For the digestive system, for the stomach and the intestine, and then here the oxygen and carbon dioxide gas exchange, the lungs, and waste removal of the kidney, okay, and internal organs like a liver to pancreas and pancreas to intestine, as well as the kidney to intestine, and then liver and gallbladder, and all put together. You know, you need to have some network. In otherwise, we call it as a networking. And all these tissues require the nutrition, they require oxygen, and that is being supplied, and from the tissues carbon dioxide and ammonia waste will be removed, and that is a major part is the circulatory system. Okay. In other words, I'll put like this: circulation moves like a U-Haul, right, isn't it? Moves things one place to another. Transport the things either from oxygen or nutrients or whatever, and then waste products from one place to the other, like a cargo load. Okay. Also, they distribute to the tissues. All of them distribute to tissue, and then the tissue to outside of the body. Outside. Okay. So we will see one by one, like a single cell bacteria. What happened in the single cell? Single cell in a bacterium, circulatory system. There is no blood vessel or nothing, because only one cell, right? So you have receptors, and you have a flagellum which is going over there, and then nutrients will come up, and then oxygen can go through, and then it can respirate. There is no lungs. Instead of lungs, what you have? Respiratory centers. Respiratory centers. So you have the respiratory enzymes are sitting on the membrane, and then it can take up the oxygen, and then it can synthesize its own, the ATP molecules, and that is being used for the function of this bacterium. The bacterium, they don't have a nucleus, but they have a chromosome. But they have other function, just like human, what we do. Eat, sleep. Does the bacteria sleep? No. It keep quiet, okay. It won't talk, but it does the work. Eat, digest, as well as the excretion, and also respiration in the aerobic bacteria. In the anaerobic bacteria, they won't take up oxygen, but they can produce its own energy from the food resources. So that's the one difference. But the aerobic bacteria, they can do it. If we have the respiratory centers in our skin, then we get rid of our lungs. There is no need for our lungs. Is that right? If we have that type of capability in our skins, which can take up all the oxygen from skin and respiration, there is no need for us to do that. But we have our specialized function, the multicellular organ. There is a specific function. We will go through that one, okay? In the multicellular organs, okay, the multicellular, how these molecules are going, they have a large organ, they have diffusion. They do the diffusion process. Okay, diffusion we did study in our earlier class about this diffusion. Okay. So if you have a diffusion, suppose if there is the membrane and there's a holes in it, so the oxygen can go in from the air, can go in and then go over there. But if you want to get the surface area will be more for the diffusion, so this is a limited. This area is limited. Meaning, this is the same square foot and then maybe, just a very small area if you do a straight of a diffusion on that part. But the same thing, if you do just like our villi and microvilli do, okay, just a folded structure like that. The membrane is folding. And then if you spread it out, it will be more. So if you have this membrane, you get the surface area of diffusion will be more area. This is the type of pattern which we have in our lungs. Okay, this will go. And the circulatory system, we are concentrating along with the gas exchange too. So that's what I'm explaining to you. So whenever there is a limitation of this air on a one particular surface area, we cannot get enough oxygen because that is limited. But we need to, multicellular organisms, they require large amount of oxygen. To increase the amount of oxygen, we need to have our adaptation, which is the folding structure of the membrane where you can get extra amount of oxygen or more amount of oxygen can get in. So when you think of the evolutionary process, I'm just drawing a cladistic diagram like this, okay. Sponges over here, okay, and then jellyfish. How many of you have read this is a Chordata, an article from Yahoo, proteasome over here, okay, it's coming over here. So you have different types of organs, and then the chordata is developed at the end in the phylogeny. I'm writing the phylogeny. Okay. The sponges, they can just get like a diffusion. It can go through the exchange of gases as well as the liquid. They can go through in a sponge. They also live. The jellyfish, that's what I told you about in Yahoo. Probably in a couple of weeks ago, I read an article like a jellyfish, they are living forever, like an eternal living organism. Have you read that one? How many of you? No? Have you read that one? Okay. The jellyfish, they can get rid of the old cell. Old cell will die, right? That's what we are at the old age. We are dying it as a human being. But this particular fish is living billions of years. How? The old to always renewal, like a stem cell, like a cancer cell, always self-renewal. And they have found out the molecule which can replenish, which if we identify that and then if we take that type of mechanism in we will not die anymore. We will live eternally as long as the earth is there. Okay, our oxygen is there, our food is there, right? You don't think so? You don't want to live for long? No, come on. Live forever. Okay. So that article is very interesting. If you are interested, you can just go and do in a Yahoo search on the jellyfish and longevity. Okay? They are living for a long time. Okay, that's part. Yes. Which jellyfish? Yeah, I don't know which type. They said there's the jellyfish, they have a mechanism which they identify, they are living for a long time, and they identify the cells. And then what type of molecule they initiate. They won't die, but at the same time they can replenish the old cell into the new cell. The new cells always constantly is coming up. So that reproducing its own. Like only in our system organ, liver can regenerate. See, 1/3 of liver is enough. So that's why alcoholic cirrhosis, the guy is taking too much of alcohol and beer and whiskey and everything, knock down the liver, and after that he will be back, because 1/3 of liver is enough. Even 2/3 is being removed, because the 1/3 of liver can regenerate. That type of regeneration only we have it in our liver. Like in salamander, if you cut off the leg, it will grow. Cut off of the tail, it can grow, regenerate. Like that, the jellyfish, they have the regenerating capacity. So like our liver, if we have the same capacity of regeneration, then we can live forever, whenever you die, and then another cell will come up. So that's a kind of research is going on in the aging process. They are doing it. But that's beyond our scope of our class now. But please understand that in the phylogeny, sponges are a type of circulatory system, and jellyfish, and then you have a chordate, they have a different type of the occurring the oxygen, okay, and the diffusion process, which is good for sponges and jellyfish. The oxygen is diffusing because they are living in water. In water, see, the organisms are there, and they can diffuse the water, solve the oxygen from the atmospheric oxygen, can dissolve in this water, and then this dissolved oxygen getting into the organism, either in the as well as in the fish, as well as in the jellyfish, as well as in the sponges. So in that case, the water will go in directly onto all the cells. There's not a specific in the sponges and jellyfish. There's no specific organs for that. Just a diffusion, okay? Just a diffusion. Okay? Because the cells are closer to air or in the water, it can exchange. The cells, if the cells are the nucleus, the cells are there, they can easily exchange. Suppose if this is an organism, okay, here one organ, here this is another organ, this is another organ, this is another organ, but the cells will contact in water or the air only the outside. So these cells can exchange in case if you have adaptation to that, but not this part of the organ. They won't get the oxygen. But here, yes, but it is not. So the animal survival is not going favorable. So the evolution will have to have its own circulatory system where the air should come in, and then it should be passed on, and then it go in several organs and inside organ. So in that case, you have to have a circulatory system which will take the air and then you pass it on to the other part of the body. Okay. So in that case, we need to have the animal, okay, with coelomic cavity, coelomic, coelomic cavity. Okay, they have circulatory system. So that's what I want to justify. My earlier slide I just showed you here. So this is the one organ. Organs are inside, but these organisms, they can contact with the outside, but it is not inside. In other words, the animals which have a coelomic cavity, like suppose this is an animal, okay, this is an animal, and there's a cavity inside, like a coelomic cavity. They call it as an alimentary canal, which is going over there. Okay, so if consider it's a fish, if you have the exchange of the diffusion can take place in the skin, that's fine. The cells can respire, they can take oxygen, but not internal one. So those organisms which is having the coelomic cavity, they must have a circulatory system, because the air cannot penetrate into the skin and tissues and muscles and other tissues to go to the internal organs. So they have to have a circulatory system. So that's the part, that's the necessary, that is the need for the multicellular organism. Okay. In the pre-coelomic, that's there is a true circulatory. We call it as a true circulatory system, true circulation. And compared to the other one, it is not a true one. Okay. Now let us see open and closed circulatory system. Open circulatory system, and then closed one, closed circulatory system. So what is the open circulatory system and closed circulatory system? So I mentioned before, like this is an aquarium pump, and this is a mixture. Okay, this is a mixture. What it will do, this aquarium pump is an aquarium. Okay, a little fish is floating over there. Okay, it's a stone which is coming up. So it sucks the air. Suck the air from the environment, from the outside, and then it mix it together, and then it pass it on to the tube, and then the air is coming here. Okay, so this type of circulation, which is like a mixture, and it's going throughout the in the aquarium. But if you consider this is in the animal, what will happen if this is an animal? Okay, it has some sort of a mixture. It's an open circulatory where the air will come here, and then it is going distributed through all of them, all just like a mixture, air mixture or aquarium pump like thing, aquarium pump. It is called open circulatory system. Open circulatory system, because it comes out and then it's diffused, and this is the case where you will get an insects like thing. I'll just put that one like a open. Otherwise we call it open heart. Otherwise we call pumps. Okay, and like a mixture, right? Mixture in the pump. Cells have access to blood, and this blood is completely without any blood vessels. It is bathing, like cells are in direct access to blood. Okay, so in this blood is an crustacea. Crustacea. How many of you like crab meat? Crabs, they used to crab. Do you find any circulatory system in the crab? No? That's a good example for the open circulatory system. Insects. Okay. Insects. Mosquito. Do you have a mosquito circulatory system? Mosquito blood. What is the color of mosquito blood? Red? Red? Yes. After it bites you. It sucks your blood and then show that's your blood. It's not mosquito blood. Okay. So last time I asked the same question. Yes, mosquito's blood is red because I turn off mosquito and become a red color. It's coming out. So that's not the thing. It's a hemocoel, as I mentioned before. Yes? Ascidians. A-S-C-I-D-I-A-N-S. Ascidians. And echinoderm. E-C-H-I-N-O-D-R-M. Echinoderm. On these animals, okay, so these species, they have the open heart or these open pump-like thing, like a circulatory system, open circulatory system. Meaning, the cells are here. Okay, these are the animal cells. Okay, so what happened? The blood, which is hemocoel, which is bathing. I mean, throughout all these body cells, it is bathing on the same. Sounds like a pool of blood. Put all the cells onto the pool of blood. What will happen? That exactly is happening in the insects over there. Okay, so it's the open one. There is no vessels, blood vessels, no capillaries, no specific veins or anything like that. So oxygen or any nutrients which is coming off, all the cells are floating in a pool of blood. So that's why it is called the open, and these are the example of the open. Okay, now let us see on the closed one. Closed circulatory system is a little bit different, but you have a pump-like thing. You just okay. This is an animal organism, and the pump is here. Okay, and the pump is getting in a vessel. Okay, and you have many capillaries which is coming over there. Capillaries. And then what happened? This blood vessel, which is going back onto the pump again. And this pump will allow direct access to the air. Okay? So they are capillaries. So what it will do, this is the pump will get the air and then mixed with this blood, and then it circulate and then get into the capillaries and different parts of the organs and then collect back of the blood and back to the pump. So the pump act like a heart here. So the other organs are over here and here and here and here. So the blood is not, the cells are not bathing in the pool of blood, but the blood are very directly, supplied to the individual organs. They are supplied, and through the blood vessels and capillaries. So it is not open, but it is closed in the vessel and closed in the heart, and it is closed, not access to any specific organs in the organism. So this part we call it as a closed circulatory system. And the example in the species of annelids. Annelids. One of the annelids, do you know anyone? Any example? Earthworm, correct. Earthworm, yes, that's wonderful. Earthworm. Earthworm, they have example of annelids, they have the blood vessels. So if you are suspect, get hold of one earthworm and cut it, and you will find a blood vessel. You can see under the microscope, you can see that one. We are not having any lab for that one, but if you want to observe by yourself, have you got earthworm? Have you seen earthworm? Yes, that's a wonderful example on that. And then vertebrates. In the vertebrates, it is clear. This is invertebrates. Earthworm is an invertebrate. Okay, there's no vertebral column for the earthworm, but here the vertebrate, where the vertebral column there, it is a clear, and there is no phylogenetic relationship. Do you find vertebrate? If you think that closed circulatory system present only on vertebrate, no, there is no rule for that one. So meaning this closed, it is not behaving as if it's a phylogenetic. So we call it as a no phylogenetic or evolutionary relationship. No phylogenetic or any relationship. Okay, in its design. In vertebrate, it's a closed, right? And the echinoderm also is having a both. Echinoderm. See, echinoderm, this is another a phyla where it has both closed as well as open circulatory system. So you should remember this. I'll ask some questions in this one. Okay, you should have a both closed and circulatory. So this species you have a closed as well as the open circulatory system. Okay. And from this, it is deviator, and then is have a many times of the evolutionary process. You have the closed circulatory system develop. So what is the advantages of one over the other? What is the advantage? Are the advantages? Open circulatory system is successful in insect. Open circulatory system. Open circulatory system is successful in insects. Okay. Closed system allows control, but in the animal and the insect there is no control. Closed system, closed circulatory system, that gives control of blood supply. Okay. I'll write it here again. Closed, control over pump, because you have to pump the blood to the other part of the body, right? And control over the vessels, blood vessels, capillaries. Okay. So now let us see on the insects, and that's the open circulatory system. Okay. What do the circulatory system in the insects? Open circulatory system, and they have a dorsal heart. Dorsal heart. Okay. If this is an insect alimentary canal which is going through that, and then is the mouth, and then anus. So the heart, it comes like this. You know, this is the insect like this. The insect. Here. Air comes out, and then as is open, is everything is bathing. You know, the gas exchange which is taking place inside the body, right? Move blood. These, if you have the move blood by peristalsis in the insect. Peristalsis. Now another question which I asked you today in the exam last week is the peristalsis. What is peristalsis? Movement of the muscles, right? And here in the insect, it's not like a muscles, but here in the tissues of this insect can contract and relax, and thereby it can push the blood in one to the other. So that's why it is called a dorsal heart. It is present, not the ventral side. Suppose this is the ventral side. You know, if there is a cockroach, and you have a part, and this is the dorsal side where the wings are over there, and here your legs. This is the abdomen. So this part, the heart, is present at the dorsal part, not at the ventral side. It's the dorsal. So it's called dorsal heart. So it can move on the dorsal side by peristalsis. Okay, and this move, it can move on both directions. It's one direction. The peristalsis is in the opposite direction. It can move here. So to and fro. So it can move the blood from one side to the other side. Both sides it can move. And this movement is directly under the hormonal control. Hormonal control. Okay. So if you do this, what happens? This heart, it is not effective to the remote part of the body. Remote part of the body, because it's very slow. There's not much pressure. So the remote part of the body is not receiving any other blood, the circulatory system. Okay. So what happened? They have a second heart which is present in the legs, the multiple appendages. Second heart is present to pump. Okay. So otherwise they call it the insect, they have a multiple appendages. You know, the arthropods, where you have the insect, they have a multiple legs on that, right? You know about it. Appendages. Okay, whenever there is an additional boost is needed, suppose if there is, I'm drawing a spider, okay? The spider looks like this, right? So suppose the circulatory system is done with this only one side, but up to this it can boost it by dorsal heart up to this. What will happen to the extra bit of this region? Also need food, also need oxygen. They also do something because they are walking. So for this, they will have another heart, a secondary heart. Second heart is present in the appendages, multiple appendages, and then boost whenever it comes out, and then it will start again boosting over here. So something like a pumping station. When a pressure is lower and then accumulate, and then it will give another pressure so that it will go on here. So another pump. So in the multiple appendages animals or the insect, you find a second type of heart which is present in the appendages. So when there is a boost is needed, that the animals, they have the appendages, they have a second heart. Okay. So this is all on the open circulatory system. Sometimes you get a septa, okay, septa. That will give you a direct flow, okay, and to allow the direction. Suppose if you want to give the boost, the septa, the second heart will accumulate all the blood over here, and then it gives open, and then all on a sudden it will go with a rush, it will go the other side. So this part, we call it as a direct flow with using the septa, direct flow. And there is no blood vessels here. Did you find any blood vessels in this open heart? I mean open circulatory system? No blood vessels. It's everything on the body cavity. Okay. So the same phenomena of the open circulatory system helps in the wing inflation. Wing inflation. In the insect. Suppose the insect is here, okay, and this is the normal when the insect is resting, okay. When it needs to go and fly in a high. So what will happen? The insect, the blood will go infiltrate into the wings. What will happen? These wings of this insect will go like this, and will go like this. So just because of the open circulatory system, it will blow that up. It will use, and now it will get large size area, right? Wing inflation. And also in some of the insect they used to honeybees, right? So if the honeybees, what the honeybees will do? Suppose these are honeybees and they have a, is getting and sucked into the flower with the honey at the end, right? So it will protrude over there. So we call it as the proboscis. Proboscis. You can extend. Okay, so that the circulatory system will help on that. This because of this open circulatory system, it is easy for them to increase the size, and then so that it can suck the nectar from the flower. Okay, do you follow that open circulatory system? Yes. Yes or no? Okay. Now let us go on the closed circulatory system. What I'll do, closed circulatory system, I'll start on my next class on today's. Okay, and then I'll stop it here, and then we will go to the circulatory system, gaseous system, and next week of the class. Okay, any question? Any question from Synchrorange? I want to be there in Synchrorange, students. Be there. You are the Ellen, Peter, and Jim. I can meet with the Jeannie next. The Wednesday class. You be here. I want to discuss with your performance. Okay. On your exam. Jim, you didn't write your exam, right? So you can go. You can go. Peter and Ellen, I want to discuss with you now. 3 minutes. Any questions? Yes. Yes. The URL, which I showed you how to get the URL. If you're the view and then you get in on URL, you send me that link. Please send me the link in your email. Title of your presentation and your emailing, and the link for that presentation. In that way, I should know, what type of presentation you are doing it. The usefulness of this class. No, you're not presenting the class. You are presenting to me. I'm going to do that. And then if you are interested, then we will discuss later on. The summer class, if you want to, you are taking cancer biology in the summer class. If you are taking that, then you can use this as one of the homework which I want to give it to you. Okay?